For full episodes as they air, listen to Rants Hollywood Talk on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and blogtalkradio.com/GrantsRants.
Broadcasting from Hollywood, California, it's Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk.
The Real Housewives of New Jersey Season 8 concludes, and I have the perfect two guests to send it out in style in only the way Grant's Rants can. Margaret Josephs and Danielle Staub come to rant and answer all the questions in this special episode right now. Let the ranting begin. I am joined by Margaret Josephs and Danielle Staub from The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Hello, ladies.
Hello, Grant. Hi, Grant. How are you?
Pretty good. I've looked forward to this all day. The ladies are joining us via Skype from the state of New Jersey. Very appropriate. I'm so happy to have you on. Thank you for doing this show.
We're so excited to do this show. I love listening to Grant's Rants.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love anything that ends in rant.
Well, that's what this show is. I mean, it's a sounding board, and I wouldn't know how to. I don't know what to do without it. I need a release. You know what I mean? You need to have a platform, right?
Amen. Exactly.
So let's talk about a few things. It's always some straight talk on this show. So I want to get to the bottom of a few things, Margaret. What's going on? I want to catch up the status of you and your children. What's happening?
Well, you know what? We're in the healing process. When I said they don't speak to me, we're not the same as we used to be. We haven't had holidays together. We're not in each other's lives every day. Obviously, we text message each other. It's not like they've cut me out completely, but it just wasn't the same. Our family's in the healing process. So we are just, we still are in contact with each other, but it's just not the same. But we're definitely in a better place than we were. So things are moving in the right direction.
Okay,
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, no, good. Yeah, because I feel like it wasn't that apparent on the show. They always want to paint, this jeopardy of situations. So I'm glad that you clarified that.
Yeah, and my kids, just so you know, and I'll quick tell you, are much older. They're all grown adults. I mean, my youngest is 21 and he's my natural born child. And obviously he lives with me and everything's fine there. And, there was 4 kids in total and it's just 2 that we're not as close with as I used to be, but we're getting there.
Well, that's good. So you had one child.
You have a child that doesn't speak to you, because I've gone through a similar situation, whether it's by their choice or a separation of parents. I got to tell you, it hurts. It's a pain, just like she said. It's an ache. It doesn't go away.
Yes.
And so you want them back in your life the way that they were from the beginning, which is what I think that she was trying to express. Like, just wants it to be the way it was.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you're right.
Smell them, hug them, kiss them, feel their warmth, and hear their voices all the time.
It's true. Right. Yeah. And that's, I think, didn't come through on the show. I don't think it was as clear, but thank you.
Of course. Now, Margaret, there's been a lot in the press about your home. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
How do you ask such a question? How do you ask such a question?
It's okay. I had a very bad lawsuit, which did come out on the show. And, they were attaching a lien onto my house. So that's what was coming out. And,
right.
We're clearing up that lawsuit. And I think it's not being in foreclosure. It's not, I'll still be living here and everything else. I just think.
As a veteran, I got to tell you, everything that you're going through gets enhanced by 100.
It gets blown up
50%.
So and like I said, business lawsuits are very common. That doesn't, especially in our industry, copyright infringement. It's extremely common in our business. And, by her saying, oh, she's a thief, it's nothing remotely like that. You could look up any reputable company and they've had numerous lawsuits. And Vineyard Vines is in a lawsuit as we speak with Levi's. So everybody has those kind of things. So, of course, they blow it up into something that it's really not. But, yeah, of course, there's crazy stuff going on at all times when you have a lawsuit, but it's not a big deal. It's being fixed.
Right. Now, Danielle, did you know of Margaret before getting into the season?
No. Actually, I found out about Margaret the week 2 weeks before I was going to meet her, actually. And I'm like, wait, who's this new girl? And why can't I meet her when, we're starting filming? And so when we got to Boca, was the first time I met her. It was instant love, even though I didn't anticipate it being that way.
Yeah.
Really didn't.
Well, why not? Had you heard things? Why did you think you'd be off?
No, not even for any other reason, but just my own, post-traumatic, you have a little bit of like damage done to you when you think everybody that comes on that's new is going to just take their hits at you because that'll make them blow up. And so I came at Margaret anticipating that and saying, okay, you're new. I don't like new. I don't understand new. And why don't you drink? And instead of her saying, listen, bitch, which is what I was used to, she went, oh, I understand that. And she explained herself, she said, well, I have migraine headaches, so it's not good if I drink alcohol. And then she, explained some other things. And then by the time we were done at that dinner, I was just cuddling with her, and I don't think we've stopped.
Yeah, we haven't been separated ever since.
Oh,
so I got my own
great.
perception of her on my own, and it turned into love instantly.
Yeah.
That's the real Margaret.
I mean, and we're really very, very close. We're best friends. We live right near each other. We're very lucky.
Danielle, I got to say, I've been on Team Danielle since day one, and I'm happy to see you back. I've followed you. I followed you to VH1's Famous Food.
You did? Oh my God, that's amazing that you did that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Too.
Yeah, I know. I know you did. I love it. So I'm so glad that you got to come on the Rants. What a nice surprise. And it's a fun moment for me. I feel like I've been following Housewives for almost 10 years, and the show's been around for about 3, but I've worked with AfterBuzz for a long time. So it's kind of a nice full circle moment for me and for the show to have you guys on. So I'm just grateful.
Fabulous. Great.
Very thankful.
To hear. As a veteran watcher and viewer, don't you agree she's like the most brilliant addition to the franchise?
Thank you, Danielle.
Margaret is necessary. She's beyond necessary to this franchise, I will say.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I've been very critical of many Housewives in many cities, but I think it's safe to say that this series could definitely use a shot of Margaret, and I'm glad it got it.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for the love.
And same with Danielle. I mean, I've been out there campaigning for Danielle to come back for a very long time.
I know. I got lucky to get on with her. I mean, she was doing her comeback, and I got to get on the show. It was great. We were just like a good 1-2 punch.
It really was. Like, I was like, wow, this is what it feels like, huh? This is fun.
Yeah.
I had so much fun. I really did. Even though at times we were being taken down, we always had each other to look at. And
it's
like,
true.
We had each other.
We were very lucky.
Yeah, I mean, Danielle, you were about as critical as I was on Twitter a few seasons past, just kind of looking at casting choices and the way the seasons have gone. I mean, did you have any trepidation going into this?
No, not really. Because of the relationship that I maintained with Sirens Media, the production company. I mean, Lucilla and I, she's the executive in charge of Sirens. We met 12 years ago. When we were all approached, the OGs of Jersey, and people don't understand that. They don't put it together. Like, we stayed in touch because I left the show. I didn't get fired. And there was just, and I kept in close touch with Andy Cohen. Mm-hmm. But the great thing is since season 4, when they wanted to bring me back, I went to the 11th hour and I couldn't do it because I just remembered there's the same people there, that means there's the same problems. I needed to get caught up on what they're really doing on the show, and I hadn't watched, and it scared me. So I didn't do it. And then the timing wasn't right. And then the universe throws, Teresa and I back together, and here we go. And there's no mistakes. I'm with Margaret Josephs and I'm back, and it's incredible. I mean, it's been a long time coming. I just don't think that the only thing I could say is if it was like this, I would have never left.
Right. Well, that's one thing I want to clarify with you. It wasn't a mutual decision. It was your choice to leave, correct?
Oh, I said goodbye at the reunion with all those long, awkward hugs.
Right. Well, I remember very well.
You don't hug somebody that long unless you're like looking at them being like, please leave me Can I swear?
Go for it.
Leave me the fuck alone. Let go of me. Let go of me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I kept looking at Jacqueline, and I'd hug her again, and I'd whisper in her ear, and that's what that was about.
Yeah.
It was awkward for me too, but I was begging her, please, get rid of all this stuff you're doing to me on Twitter and having your family do to me, and stop torturing my kids, and just stop everything. Mm-hmm. And, well, that didn't work so well, but Look who's here now, bitch.
That's right.
Amen.
Our girl is back.
For real, for real. So a longtime recapper and podcast co-host of Grant's Rants, my grandmother, 88, June Flory, fan of the show. She is a fan of the Marge, and she has...
Love it.
I asked her, I said, do you have any... I called her up on lunch today. I said, do you have any questions for Margaret? She said, I don't have any questions, but I have advice. So
Tell me.
I had her submit. It's a little reading here via email from June Flory.
I love it, June Flory, Grandma June. I'm so excited.
So here she goes. And anyone who's listened to the show, picture it in her voice. It's very distinct. I can't even begin to replicate it. But she says, my advice for Margaret. Do not apologize to Siggy anymore. What you said did not warrant how she carried on about it. Don't try to make amends with her about this. It was a waste of time. You are above this. You are not on the same page with any of these women. My question for Margaret, and then we'll get into the question in a moment.
Yes.
But how do you respond to this bit of advice?
I think Grandma June is absolutely right. Thank you for bringing clarity to it and really, telling me the way you feel, because it's true. She's absolutely right. I take that advice and I'm not apologizing anymore. I did my apologizing and it was all sincere, and she wouldn't accept it, and I'm done. I don't even want to mention her name. I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Who?
I know.
Yeah, it's just...
Oh, no, she fooled you quite a few times. She did accept your apologies until she saw you again with the group.
Yes.
And then she turned on you again.
Grant, what I say is insecurity breeds insanity. And I think that's what we were dealing with here.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but Grandma June is absolutely right.
She wanted to know which one of the women you feel the most compatible with, and I assume that's Danielle.
Yeah, obviously Danielle.
Yeah.
Because we're together all the time. But also, I love Melissa and Teresa. They are fabulous. And Danielle and I get to spend time with them. But, Danielle and I live around the corner from each other, so it's very easy to be together every day, coffee talk. But Melissa and Teresa don't live as close, but we're very bonded with them as well, and they're dolls and fabulous. So I love them also.
We text or get on the phone at least once a day.
We just can't physically be together as much.
Right. I need someone like that in my life. I need like a ride or die around the corner because...
You do.
Here's my thing. I'm ride or die until about 9 p.m.
Yeah, that's what I told you. That's what Danielle goes, Marge, I'm your ride or die till 9 at night.
Well, Danielle, are you an early riser? Is that what it is?
Rally. I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, Danielle, are you an early riser? Is that why you go to bed early?
I don't really go to bed early. I just like to lay down and watch. Come on, you're going to judge me, but I'm okay with that. Friends.
Oh, everyone binges Friends.
But I do it every night.
That's your thing.
I have every word of every episode of every season memorized, and so do my daughters. God bless them; they fell in love with it by no choice. Because really, in 1992, I think is when it started, or 91. I was pregnant with Christine, so she heard it in utero, and then when she was born, the kids just watch reruns, and they do it on their own now too. I look at their Netflix, and I'm like, oh, look at that, we're all watching the same thing.
I know, she's hilarious. Yeah, Danielle, she'll be home, early at night.
No, I'm laying in bed, but I'm watching Friends.
See, I take a disco nap, and I'd rather go out a little bit later.
I'm gonna have to start doing that disco nap.
That's the way to do it. Even I need it at this point. I'm not kidding. Especially when I go away. If I'm going out, forget it.
Yeah, forget it. It's like you got to take that nap before dinner, and then you could rally, go out, and be fabulous.
Yeah. So a few questions came in on the Grants Rants Hollywood Talk Facebook page. And if anyone's listening and you're not following that page, go check it out. So here are some questions. Joseph in LA asks, which former Real Housewives of New Jersey housewife no longer on the show would you like to see return, excluding Danielle, of course?
Who would I like to see return? Dina Manzo.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we could use another blonde, right?
Yeah, we could. Oh, Dina's definitely, and she has,
and she's very, she's very namaste-ish. And she loves Marge Sr. She wrote to me that she loves Marge Sr.
Yeah, I never took to Dina. I just never really, when they brought her back, it flatlined for me. But, I don't know her like you got. You guys know her personally. I'm just judging as a viewer.
Personally, I think, for the show purposes, that I would love Dina. Believe me, but because Teresa's repeated it so many times, I think it would be nice for she and I to be able to team up and bring one of our mutual nemesis back, which would be probably Caroline, who I must remind everybody is the same age as me, but hello.
Oh, my God, dying.
And, Jacqueline with her fortunes are invited as well.
Oh, Jacqueline, though, I mean, have we told that story?
I
Yes,
mean, the story has been told in repetition. That's why I think it would be more interesting for Caroline, and that's why I led with her, because like Teresa doesn't even want to have a conversation with Jacqueline, but she wants her to know like what it feels like to have an allegiance, again. And that's probably why one of those two would probably be the best for the viewers as well, because that's a full circle and like, okay, now get the F out of here now. Just leave. Bye.
Yeah.
And I think Melissa has problems with both of them as well.
But I think we could use someone fun, new, and spunky. That's what we're thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, I just think
I always want to bring
we don't need to recycle anybody. Let's just have someone fun, new, and spunky.
I kind of agree. I think that pulling it back. Look, I've said on this show many times, Danielle has unfinished business, and so
Exactly.
I'm ready to see that play out. But at the same time, too, like if we're gonna keep relying on the past, like how is this show ever gonna move forward? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree. We need someone else to come in and fit in organically, and I think Melissa and Teresa are ready for that. Danielle's ready for
I'm
it.
definitely ready.
I
mean,
mean,
chapter other than Kim D as well. Remember, I brought her in. I'd like to be here when she leaves.
Yeah. We've said that on this show with the Posh Fashion Show. I mean, it's some people like having it to look forward to. To me, it's like, are we still relying on this? So
seriously.
I'm ready to see her make a big exit myself, because we need another adversary.
I think we need another adversary. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Who are we going to get? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see who, which one of our friends comes on next.
Well, that's what they keep saying. They keep saying there's like a treasure trove of outrageous women in New Jersey. So I'm like, keep bringing them on.
I know. We need them to come on. We have a lot of fun babes in New Jersey.
Definitely. So Alyssa in Orlando asks, what are your thoughts on Siggy leaving the show?
I say reality TV isn't for everybody.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I think this year she showed her true colors, and
I just don't think that
it worked.
I don't think she could. She can handle this. It's too much for some people, and bless her if she has a heart left. Bless her heart. Just move on. I would like to know that she's peacefully moving on, and I'm not so much convinced of that part, but bless her if she can really move on.
I mean, I wish her well. I want her to be okay. It obviously wasn't for her. She was having a public meltdown, and I felt bad for her, and I just want her to be able to move on.
Clearly you felt bad for her. You kept apologizing.
I don't want to see any woman fall apart. I mean, and that is true. I would never take a girl, and I could be sarcastic. I mean, look at the way I scream at Marge Sr. I mean, I scream at my own mother like that. So I definitely do not want to see any woman hurt. So I just want her to,
it's just your personality. It's not a bad thing. It's just like you say things really quickly, and I know you and love you for that. But like,
she couldn't take
it. It's funny.
She just could not take the Marge, Grant.
No. And my final thought on her is, what was I going to say when it comes to her? Like, she's lucky in a way that she wasn't on Another City, because people have been really attacked far more than, and I mean, I can't even describe your actions towards her as attacking. I mean, it's ridiculous, the whole thing.
Are you preaching to the choir? Do you realize I'm here?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, come on.
Seasons 1 and 2, it was a full-on attack on the full cast on me and the families. So I get that. That's what I kept telling her all season.
Yeah, I did it.
Kidding? This is a cakewalk.
Yeah, she felt, in her perception, I was jabbing. There's, everybody, and the truth is, all the fans
wasn't letting up on you either.
But all the fans saw it the way it really was.
Yeah.
That was the beauty of it. And I think
really can't make that shit up.
Yeah, it was fine. I have amazingly thick skin. I mean, you have to do something really evil for me.
Margaret really does.
Yeah.
Me, not so much. I think I do, but I don't.
Yeah, no, Danielle is much more sensitive than I am.
I'm just a person that when something's happening, I just push through. Mm-hmm. And when I'm done, I'm like, phew, God, thank God that's done. Like, I don't like that, but, it's definitely something that Margaret has much thicker skin than most that come on. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. I think it's being in business and working with a lot of men. I'm used to it.
Yeah,
that's true. You're also really smart, though. Things that come out of your mouth.
You.
I was like,
Thank
wow.
Yeah, it's
I
but
should
you
look
know,
that word up.
being on a being on a reality series is part delusion, part determination. That's how I got through my business, and that's how to get through being on a show with. And
That's
we
good,
have
nice.
a ball. We have a ball, but being on on a show with a lot of strong women, a lot of strong personalities, tremendous opinions,
Depriving us of food.
Yeah,
Pouring alcohol.
no one wants to eat on TV except me because I can't miss a meal.
No, but so we drink though to overcompensate. Not that they force us to. We just voluntarily do that. And
I
Not
can't drink because
March.
I have migraine, so I have to remind all the broads what they said.
yeah,
There you go. Yeah. No, I think it's important, especially in the first season, to not drink and then do all the observing and collecting.
so smart.
So that's my advice. But anyway, let's take a quick break for a moment. And when we return, we're going to be digging into part 2 of the reunion with just the highlights. That and more with Danielle Staub and Margaret Josephs in a moment. Promotional consideration for Grants Rants Hollywood Talk is provided by Harry's. Harry's razors, I've talked about them on the show before, and I'm still using them, and I have to say, I don't miss my electric shaver at all. I really have committed to using Harry's, only because they've got quality blades. I love the shave gel. It's actually a nice experience where I used to dread shaving. This is actually a nice me time moment. So I have to say, Harry's is the way to go. They've got a great shave at a fair price, which is why over 3 million guys have switched to Harry's. They stripped out unnecessary features, and that brings down the cost. So that way, it's better for you, an amazing price, good quality product. What more do you want, especially this day and age? Harry's is so confident that you're going to love their blades, they'll give you their trial shave set for free when you sign up, on harrys.com/grantsrants. Just pay for shipping. Their free trial from Harry's is about a $13 value, and it's free when you sign up. And again, you just pay for shipping. So what do you get? You get a weighted ergonomic razor handle, 5 precision-engineered blades with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel, that's the gel that I'm always talking about, and a travel blade cover. To get your free trial set, go to harrys.com/grantsrants. That's harrys.com/grantsrants. And now I'm dying to get back to Danielle and Margaret.
You're listening to Grant's Rants. Subscribe and spread the word.
There are a lot more rants to come.
Listen anytime on all major podcasting platforms.
And now, back to the show.
And we're back talking with Margaret Josephs and Danielle Staub from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. They're talking to us, I believe, from an SUV.
Yes, we're in the back of the SUV. The men went in the house, and we're in the back with the heat on.
Well, thank you for staying out in the cold to rant. Thank you.
We're nice and warm.
Yeah, of
good.
course.
So a few highlights that we'll go through, starting from the top. Kim D is there. She doesn't mind stirring the pot, as she, admits. And Teresa alleges that Kim D is a madam, but Kim D claims that she isn't, but she'd be cool if she was. Any thoughts on this?
Wow. Well, listen, it's the oldest profession in town. What are you going to say?
Here's the thing. I have daughters, 24 and 19. So their friends become like daughters to me because they're always over. I hang out with some of the 24 to 30-year-old range. We do go out. Do I consider them my friends? No, I consider them like my children, an extension of my children. She's hanging out with children and young girls that are the same age as my daughter's friends groups. And yet that is her friend group. That to me does not scream a woman that might be innocent of such an accusation that Teresa made.
Ooh.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's listen, she said she wouldn't mind if she was one. So maybe that's something she wants to do.
She's open to business opportunities, maybe.
Yes, she's very entrepreneurial.
Or Andy just really advertised for her new business.
Yeah, she's very
a national commercial. Yeah.
Yes, a national commercial.
So Teresa reminds Andy before he's trying to dismiss Kim. At least someone was paying attention and brought in, made her stay. So that way, Danielle, you could have a conversation with her. And, they asked about why Kim D. Well, yeah. So you ask why Kim D. didn't interject when that infamous poll situation happened at the fashion show a billion years ago. And anything you want to say about that? Kim claims that that she really was friends with you, despite how you feel.
Okay. No, she really used me to get on the show.
Not surprising.
And I knew that she was setting me up at the fashion show, because when I got brought in, I wasn't sitting at her table, which is what she had said she would do, even on camera. She said this as part of the show. But instead were my nemesis at the time, Jacqueline and Teresa, directly across from me. And I'm there with all of my friends, but I'm not with Kim D., who I introduced to the whole group. Ironic, isn't it? That's what Siggy was saying about Margaret all season, but yet she's hanging out with a girl that I introduced to the group. Okay. And hating on me. Okay. It's interesting. But anyway, the whole thing with the fashion show was it escalated very quickly. When I came out and Teresa said hello to me, it went from 0 to 90 in a matter of 10 seconds. And they both started chasing me, and Kim D clearly was laughing about the whole thing, and she was saying how much she loved Teresa and everybody that was involved with chasing me. And it was nasty. So I knew already the answer to what I asked her, but I didn't really get much resolve. But here's the thing, Grant. I don't give a flying little tiny rat's ass. I really don't.
Yeah.
Don't really fucking care. So that's why I was like, oh, well, you're really friends with me. I don't fucking care.
Right.
I really don't.
But at least you took the opportunity to say that publicly on a platform and get it out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I could be mad at her and I could have been like screaming at her, but Teresa said it all much better.
Mm-hmm.
So that part was done. I just needed her to like be face to face with, and then blaming me for not being friends with me. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
Teresa said it all with clink, clink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that.
There were a lot of visual reactions to a lot of things that were said. Melissa had a lot of faces going on, but my favorite was definitely Margaret when we learned that Siggy is writing a book. She's penning a book about bullying with children. I love the reaction.
That was the reaction.
Oh my gosh. I was like, cut me a break. I mean, that is not, I mean, she should write it called How to Be a Bully in 5 steps or less. Mm-hmm. That's really what it should be called. But I've actually been luckily enough to see the cover of the book, and there's actually, she made a little cartoon character of me, little mini Marge in pigtails.
No.
That says Siggy. Mm-hmm. Yes, I must send it to you. It's hilarious. She has a bunch of little people on the front calling her name. You can't make it up, Grant. It's so hilarious. I was like, it has to be self-published. I mean, I've never seen a cover like this. It's like the cover.
Oh, wait, it's not Simon & Schuster?
Yeah, no. It's so hilarious. But it says, bully me? I don't think so. I mean, just... Oh my God! So that's like the opposite of like, I don't think a bully book should be even called that. That's like the opposite of a bully book. Bully me? I don't think so. Like you're going to bully the person back.
Yeah,
bully you.
Yeah.
I love that I'm on the cover. I made the cover.
Oh, good for you.
I mean, I've never seen anybody so obsessed with me.
It's nuts.
Oh my God.
It's nuts. But
nuts.
Everything that you said in part 1, where you said, you talked about how she's not really an expert or she's an expert with no degree. That's very true in a lot of these experts and life coaches. I've noticed that. That's such a trend. I'm so glad you called that out about her.
Yes, I had no choice because it's a self-proclaimed relationship expert. And she said to me, I'm that because my experience, my expertise is my experience. And I mean, I brush my teeth, how many thousands of times, so I must be a dentist. That's I'm an expert. Yeah. It's I don't understand this. So because you've had relationships, 2 husbands. I mean, we've all had 2 husbands.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So most of us have had 2 husbands. Some had a few more. But no. So the whole point was I had to say something because you can't be a self-proclaimed. I mean, I could just say anything. What am I going to start doing plastic surgery on someone? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I had to call it out.
No, smart. It was necessary.
It was necessary.
I like to learn something when I watch Housewives, so I did last night. I wrote down the quote.
What did you learn?
If you're an asshole, you look like an asshole. I can't help it.
Yes, I said it. If you act like an asshole, you look like an asshole.
There you go.
You know, and
I love it.
that's really what I was saying.
That was great.
That was just my line also to say, basically, because she would like to blame a lot of things on editing, which you've seen on social media. So, and she would act that way. And
They can't use what you don't do.
yeah, and I was basically just saying in general, that's kind of what she would say and always make excuses for her behavior. So I just had to call it out.
As I said all season, deflection.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Danielle's
Danielle.
absolutely right. Deflection. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you act like an asshole, you look like an asshole. There's
And
there's no
Danielle,
two
you know
ways
more.
around it.
Danielle, you know this more than almost anyone in the reality TV game. That when it comes to it can't be editing if the words are coming out of your mouth.
Exactly. You can't throw editing under the bus. You can't throw anybody under the bus but yourself. You don't say it, they can't use it. Period.
Exactly. So Marge Sr. not interested in Teresa's father. I don't think they'd be a good match. Just a side note.
No, I don't think so. I want Teresa's father to live a very long, healthy life, and Marge Sr. might not. She might put him in
she's
an
a
early
little-
grave.
yeah,
Marge
she's
Sr.'s
a
a
little
known sex kid.
Yeah.
She's a little mom.
And she is super, super shy about that. So don't tell her Marge told you.
Yeah, right. Marge Sr. is so sorry about.
Yeah.
I mean, she's exhausting for me and Joe. She stays out later than we do at night. She's crazy.
I love her. I love her.
Yeah,
I think she's
she brings
definitely
cupcakes.
the rising. There's always a rising side character. She won this one.
Yes, I know. A little bit of Marge Sr. goes a long way.
Yeah.
Hands down. Hands down. She was
So-
fantastic.
Now we're transitioning into Dolores and Danielle, and
Oy.
Dolores claims that they talk about in that video package the alleged drug use. I mean, Danielle, you wrote a book, and all this stuff. I mean, is this out there already, or is this made up? What's the status?
What is out there?
No, did you do drugs? Like he's saying, is this out there?
Yeah.
Why'd you say this?
Oh, she says whatever her minions or whatever she as a minion is feeding off of. I don't know. People want to say like, I was prostitution whore. Which is it? Do I give it away or do I, get paid for it? I mean, there's no validation to any of this bullshit that's out there about me.
Right.
Did I do drugs when I was younger? Who the fuck didn't? I wasn't a mother. And I wasn't
that's
even
right.
a wife. I was a kid.
Yeah.
19 years old, to be exact, when I got arrested. But, I'm 55 years old, 11 years older than her. Hello. She really should take a page out of my book. Literally.
Yeah, like I say, girl, you don't be saying that about my Danielle. That's the way. You
How
can't.
do you look like this at 55 with no plastic surgery yet, except for, Botox injections in my boobies, but nothing on my face yet. I mean, you don't look like this at 55 years old and have a lifestyle that she's suggesting that I have.
Yeah, that's a very hard accusation. You can't be accusing someone of doing drugs. I mean, that's not something you just put out there.
No, you can't.
In some flippant comment. I mean,
Yeah.
I was just like, come on.
And what was worse? Skank, scumbag.
I mean,
Anytime she ran out of reasons to hate me, she would make up another.
yeah, so I've just, Danielle and I, and the other ladies, like even Teresa, we don't make up lies and just say something with no backup. So I was just taken aback that she would say, but she did say she wasn't doing kilos. She did lower the drug thing to just Xanax. So that was,
And the funniest thing is, and I am going to rat her and Siggy out right now. On the trip to Milan and back on the plane, they were drooling on their little tables, the
That is true.
tables. And I asked, how are you sleeping? The both of you were drooling. And they're like, yeah, couple Xanax. And I was like, wow. So I can't take that stuff because it will, and I told her, knock me out for 3 days. And she's like, oh, that would be a good thing. And she laughed. And I thought it was funny at the time. But now she's accusing me of what her and Siggy were, exactly what her and Siggy were doing. And it's not a bad thing. I'm sure Siggy has a prescription or two of Xanax and I mean,
Or 3 or 4.
have you met her?
and if she doesn't have a prescription, she should get one.
Oh, I'm sure they're offering them to her right now as we speak. But I wouldn't even care. I would never say anything like that about somebody. So they took a Xanax to go to sleep. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
But
So
don't turn it on me. That's why I was
It's very-
leaning back going, really? This is what we're going to say? I always give person the chance to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
She forgets everything. She forgot what she told me about
I'm
Teresa.
sure, you know
and
what?
she forgot that she told
I'm
me
sure she
had
regrets
Siggy
it.
wrong
Watching
for
it
that.
back, I'm just hoping Dolores regrets it.
Well,
I don't
Dolores,
give a tiny little rat's ass about that either.
No, I know, but I'm hoping she does. I hope she comes to her senses and apologizes.
I think as soon as they find the rest of the top of her dress, she'll be fine.
oh Lord.
We're harsh. We're harsh.
No, I love it. I mean, I hate to get into the looks and all that as a man, especially to comment on the reunion looks, but that side of the couch was a little rough. Sorry.
Minus Melissa.
Yeah,
Melissa
minus-
looked amazing. Yes.
She always looks
It
good.
was
She
incredible.
She can't have a bad day.
No, she can't.
does. So can you clarify, Danielle, this thing that supposedly that Dolores said about Teresa, when and where did this really happen? Was it in the car? Was it in her kitchen? When was this?
About what?
When she talked about Teresa,
Teresa.
said she only
spoke
cares
to
about
me?
money.
When she spoke to me,
When she said
was
she
on
only
the
cares
phone.
about money. Yeah. Oh,
She
it was on
the
the phone.
phone with me. And I was
Okay.
in my kitchen, and she was bringing Frankie over to speak. She was actually asked me several times, and I have all the text messages, if he could come talk to her, because she talked to me and Marty, because he needs help, direction, figuring out what he wants to be from Marty, and I needed to help him see if he could get into Rutgers.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry to say it, but I have to say it, and I have a lot of connections, and she knew that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was willing to reach out to my connections for her. But I didn't say any of that on this show. I didn't think it was nice to do that. He's a kid.
Good.
You
Say
know,
it on
that
the
was-
show.
Yeah, this one, yeah. But I mean, I didn't take that platform to do that because I didn't want to hurt Frankie.
Right.
I was fully capable of getting both of my daughters schooled enough that they knew how to fill out applications themselves. I also did it when you're supposed to do it in the 11th grade, not the 11th hour.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't fair to him. And I think that she knew I could get things on the fast track, and that's why she came over, and I think she wanted to thank me by telling me, okay, this is how you're going to fit in. Melissa's either way. She's good. She's pretty easygoing. She didn't know Margaret yet, so obviously she's not going to tell me about Margaret.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Jacqueline's not here anymore. Jacqueline's unmanageable, so she's not here anymore. And she goes, and Teresa, all she cares about is money. And it wasn't a bad thing. All she would have had to say is, listen, I said it and you bitch for telling her, but I didn't mean it that way. And then I would have went back and forth with, okay, so yeah, you didn't mean it in that context, but you shouldn't be telling me that. You don't know me. And Teresa and I know each other for 12 years.
Yeah.
It could have died down much quicker, but yeah, she just really protested.
I was trying
Right.
to give her, honestly, trying to give her a storyline.
Right.
Because I know her Casper ghost boyfriend doesn't show up, so.
And can you tell me, is Frank really living in that house?
I think he is.
I think he is too.
Interesting.
I think-
I've been questioning all season.
No, I think definitely we both think he is for
Yeah.
sure. I happen to love Frank.
Frank is good. He's so
We all like Frank.
Right. Yeah. But if Teresa really was all about money, who could blame her? Her husband's away. She's
Exactly.
paying back tons of money. I don't know if it's all paid back or
Exactly.
what. But
She's you know what?
I
She's
didn't
a
think it
hustler.
was a bad thing. I thought it was a way of me just telling me, this is what I want to give to you for helping Frankie. Maybe I'll help you feel more comfortable. Or maybe she was, for her and Siggy, thinking I'd come on Team Siggy and Dolores. Who knows? But all I know is, or she was trying to set me up to make me look bad to Teresa. I don't know. All I know is I always tell the truth, and that way I don't have to remember a lie.
there you go.
It's true.
That's all you need to do. in reality
Danielle
TV.
Staub has never been caught in a lie.
I don't tell them.
Mm-hmm.
Good record to have, especially on television.
It's true.
Absolutely.
So Margaret, you finally get the chance to address this Hitler comment. And I can only imagine how tired you are of explaining this. So
It's okay.
I'll explain it for you.
Thank you.
What you were saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm confirming. I'm doing like
Confirm.
journalistic duties. You were saying just because Kim D was nice to Siggy doesn't mean she's necessarily a good person.
Exactly. Thank you for getting it so clearly put out into the universe, Grant.
It's so funny. I understood it the first time you said it.
Yes. I
was in
mean,
shock.
the problem is I've used that analogy numerous times. You have to talk about someone evil to say that they were good to someone. I could have said Osama bin Laden was good to his dog. I could have used someone else, but Hitler is universally known as evil.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't say it because she was the only Jewish girl. I didn't even think of her as like the Jewish girl. I mean, my kids had a bar mitzvahs. My ex-husband's Jewish. I mean, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And she festered on it, like we said on the show, for 2 weeks. Every Jewish person has reached out to me, said they were not offended.
Right.
They understood the analogy. And saying,
parents,
including
older parents.
Yes, including
Holocaust
Andy
survivors.
Cohen, who never forms an opinion and gets in the middle of this. And
Even her father wasn't offended.
and he took my side. And
Yeah.
he said he had to err on the side of, what's right in this world. And he had to tell her, even his parents did not think it was an anti-Semitic. And to call it anti-Semitism is very, very below the belt to align someone with a hate group.
Totally.
And I think, she really just went too far that time.
So far the belt. So
Mhm.
far.
And I think that's when people really started to see the unraveling.
Yeah,
Really,
well,
cake and laying on the floor.
Yeah.
well, that's what Danielle. That's
This was the second part of the unraveling.
yeah, Danielle. That is the moment when she was laying on the floor on her back like the crucifix. That was the moment where I was like,
my
oh,
God.
I was like,
Oh my
uh-oh.
God. I'm like, wow.
Yep.
It's true.
And
I
Andy,
mean, I saw a little sign of it when we were at her townhouse in
Mhm.
Boca. I saw a little sign when she went trashy, 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 and clapped her hands in my face. So I was like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yes,
And
yeah.
then you went, and she called you an ice princess.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
called her Soggy Flicker,
Yeah, Sagi.
which
One-
will go down in history, by the way, as the best.
So it's so good. It's on T-shirts that she's making money off of, and it's on a cover of a book.
I still have not got my royalty. She reneged on the deal.
Oh, well, surprise.
Yeah, shocker.
But,
It's
Andy
okay.
did point out how quickly anti-Semite slipped off her tongue, which I was really glad that he said that, because it's true. That is not only so what you said is worse, it's like you mentioned, but to say something like that so quick and so sharply, that really speaks to her.
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
I
And
thought
she
about
it's true. And it rolled right off her tongue so fast. She was plotting it. She was trying to plot my demise. She thought, okay, I'm going to get her. Everybody's going to go against her. Everybody, she thought she could like rally everybody against me. And that's not what happened. It actually did the exact opposite. Everything that she wanted to do backfired on her.
It really did. And it was at the moment where they went back to the split screen, like we're in a 2007 episode of The View.
Yes.
Siggy screaming shame on you and all this stuff. I mean, how do you even begin to find the words to come back to that? I know you want to defend yourself, and you did, but I mean, it's like you're defending yourself to a fool. I mean, what do you do?
Yes, there's no dealing with a person who's so unraveled. I said to her, something's really wrong with you. Even your father said you went too far.
Mm-hmm.
And, when Andy defended me, she just, she was becoming so incensed at the reunion. And I just, I had to like overspeak her, which, she speaks so loud. I mean, that voice. And I just, she has very irrational thoughts.
Don't you think when it's like her type of personality, when you think you're the most in control is when you're the most out of control?
Yes, and anybody who says that I have the heart of gold, I have the most compassion, you don't really believe those things because you don't need to speak to everybody and say what you are. People know what you are.
If you shake the box and it's got if it makes a lot of sound and it rattles, it's pretty empty.
Yes.
So you don't have to talk about it.
Yes.
I'm learning so much on this call.
Yes, yes.
Margaret, you said that Siggy wanted to hate you from the start. I mean, I think that's very accurate assessment. I mean, from the very beginning, the apologies that just were never accepted. I mean, she actively chose to dislike you from my perspective as a viewer.
And I think that's one of the reasons she disliked me after that, because I was clearly
Defending me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I think truthfully, We were in Boca. I think she saw that I saw right through her.
And you were willing to
And I was willing to, call her out on a few things. I'll call out anybody. I'll call out my husband. I'll call out my mother. I'll call out my kids and my friend. But then I can move past it. But I think she had a lot of people baffled. And I think, we walked into that restaurant that night and I was like, oh, this is the type of girl that makes your vagina hurt when she screams like that. The embarrassment. I was mortified and I wasn't going to have that. That is, and I think that was, she saw that.
Did she show her Spanx
yeah, she showed her Spanx also that night. She saw that I wasn't going to have that. And she was like, uh-oh. And I think I unnerved her.
Yeah.
And that was not my intention.
No, the whole thing was blown out of proportion. I don't know what would have happened, without all of this chatter about her and her reactions, though. I mean, from the very start with the cake and all this stuff, I mean, she really took over this season.
Well, the start of it was actually at that night at dinner when you said something about Michael maybe being controlling.
Yeah, she was very upset about her.
It was the next night when I was there.
Yes.
And that's when it escalated, and she already had that in there. She was convinced of something that she heard you say when the rest of the world heard it differently.
Yes.
I heard you being concerned for her. Are you sure?
Yeah,
you're
she
okay
was
with
crying
this?
about she loves what she was doing, but her husband wants her to cut back. I said, well, do you think that's controlling? That was like, I wasn't calling him controlling. It was a girlfriend thing. We were sharing stories about men just not wanting their women to work. So I was like, oh, cut me a break. I mean, if you can't have like a grown-up adult conversation.
No, it was just like she went.
But when you guys see Secrets Revealed next week, there are some moments with Siggy and I where we were made up a little while. You guys don't see it, and it's going to be quite enlightening the way she acts to me. Very much. It's very interesting.
So what happens now with the both of you if you run into these people? So like we'll go back to the Manzos or even Siggy for you, Margaret. If you run into these people at an event, how do you really behave? The cameras are down. After all this stuff happens on camera, how do you behave? How do you interact?
I have a great answer for you. In no way, shape, or form would any of them be on any platform that I would be invited to.
I love it.
I cannot say the same because Siggy and she would not attend my girlfriend's bat mitzvah because I was there.
Oh, well, at least you got to go.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, there is no way I would ever decline an event. Of one of my good friends' bat mitzvahs, and I don't feel intimidated or insecure around anybody, so I would never not show up somewhere. Number two, if we happen to be at the same event, I would act like the lady that I normally do, and I would acknowledge her presence and watch her squirm.
There you go. Good advice. Well, before I let you go, I want you guys to tell us what's next for you guys, promote anything you want to promote on the show, and let us know what's good.
Thanks. No, I just, I'm still working on my business. We have our readers line. I just actually signed a pet license. Our new pet line is going to be coming out, and we're working on a collection called Puptown Chic, which is like the Uptown Dogs, which is going to be really fun and fabulous. So we're doing that. And so we have a bunch of new products coming out, and I'm in licensing, so it's great. Signed a bunch of new deals. So always, Macbeth Collection by Margaret Joseph, found in, mid-tier retailers across the country and internationally. And that's really it. And then you'll be seeing...
And that's really it.
And then
Just
you'll be seeing me, me and my girl Danielle on the scene promoting the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And to be seen...
We have one more episode.
Yeah, we have one more episode, Secrets Revealed. I know there is one funny thing, Secrets Revealed. You'll see Danielle and I dance lessons with our men. It's cute on there. It's a fun event.
Good.
I was wondering what happened to that day.
Yes, that'll be on there. It's fun.
Yeah, Danielle, one last question. How do you feel about certain things being cut for personal things that they filmed?
Oh, I don't know that they did cut any personal things of me. I haven't seen the last episode yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, wink, wink. Okay.
I know where you're going with this, Grant. I'm pretty smart.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this, whatever they cut, whatever they leave in, it goes right back to the first rule. If I don't say it or don't do it, they can't show it. So whatever I did, whatever I said, it's okay.
Oh, hell yeah. No shame in that.
I don't care. I'm doing a reality show. supposed to be real.
Yeah, it's all real.
Of course. Danielle, anything else you want to promote while you're here?
Just no, my beautiful daughters and we're so happy to have people seeing us in a different light. And thanks for everybody believing in us. And when I do find a business that I am going to attach myself to, besides Animal Aid USA, which is a foundation that I'm on the board of, for going to rescue dogs and animals from national disasters. Sorry about that. Disasters, and trying to find the ones that have microchips and putting them back with their families. Prince Lorenzo Borghese, he is the head of this, and I'm really proud to be a part of that. And I have a great passion for dogs, especially. So it's a no-kill. So anyone that wants to go on, it's on my Instagram and it's in my bio. Other than that, I will be developing things, and I will have a lot to do, hopefully, in this upcoming season. So, thank God everyone rallied for me. Thanks for being my cheerleader.
So things look good for you for the next season, the both of you?
I hope so.
Well,
I can't see why not.
We're on the street, but it's always up in the air. You never know till the list. Exactly. I don't like to say anything.
No, you can't.
You can't.
It's just you never know with this business, and
we like to keep everybody guessing. We'll have to just see.
Yeah, totally. All good. Well, thank you guys for ranting with me. This was a great way to end this series of recaps, and great guest to have on Grant's Rants.
Thanks. We love Grant's Rants and you and Grandma June Flory.
Oh, thank you very much.
Send our love to her. Have a great night, Grant. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me, Grant.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Wow, how cool was it to have both Danielle and Margaret on the show? It's a very nice moment for me. Obviously, Grant's Rants was never about having celebrities on. This show is about commentary and real talk and looking at the business. But it's really neat for me to have two housewives. One of them, both are great, but Danielle, a reality TV icon, be on the show. Truly iconic and grateful, and just very thankful tonight. Tonight is a night of gratitude for having such great guests come on and give me the time. There were no rules. Nothing was off the table. They didn't say we have to be done by a certain amount of time. They literally were in a car with a speakerphone, for over 45 minutes. So God bless them. I'm so thankful. And I hope you really enjoyed this episode. I'm hoping to do more things like this. Again, this show is about commentary, so we'll see what happens coming up. But I hope you enjoyed all of the recaps. If you haven't listened to the recaps, you can find them on this lovely podcast channel and over on YouTube. They'll be up there forever, God willing. So you guys can check that out. If you are new to the show, make sure you subscribe or keep listening. Scroll through. We talk about a lot of reality TV on this show. So I'm sure there's a show beyond Housewives too that you guys could connect with. I love you for listening, and we'll be back with plenty more rants to come.
This has been Grant's Rants. Support the Rants on Patreon. Follow us on Twitter @It's Grant's Rants.
Cover art created by RHONJ. Voiceover by Aw Yeah. Original theme music composed by Alexander Arntzen. The Grant Michael Collection.